You again? You're getting on my nerves.
Here, do you still want to stop me now?
Is that blood one? Oh, that? Oh. Yes, no, I mean, you can go in.
Hey, you! About Raven. There is even a fellow with the bandits who claims to know Raven's plans. His name is Fortuno. He says that Raven wants to get into the temple to get a powerful artifact.
And? Did he know more about this artifact?
He could only tell me that Raven has had the grave of a priest of Adonis opened.
This grave may contain the key to the temple. You should take a look around there.
Raven has forced the prisoners to excavate the grave of the priest.
That is not good. You must hurry and stop Raven.
I made my way into Raven's quarters.
And? What about Raven?
I came too late. He disappeared into the Adonis temple right before my eyes.
What? That is a catastrophe. Why didn't you follow him?
I couldn't follow Raven. He blocked the entrance from inside.
I must think. The question is, how did Raven get into the temple? And what did he do before he passed through the portal?
He spoke an incantation at the gate.
And before that?
He opened a burial chamber. I already told you about that.
Right. A ritual. Yes, that's it. I fear that Raven has made the power of the Guardians of the Dead his own. He got his knowledge of the temple from a spirit. You must go to Mixir and tell him about this. May Adanos protect you.
Wait a minute.
Satyrus sent me. Raven has made his way into the temple and blocked the portal from the inside. Satyrus thinks he got his information about the temple from a ghost.
By Adanos. He must have summoned the high priest Cardamon to ask him about a way into the temple. According to the records, his grave was in the caves under the fortress. You will have to do the same, but you cannot ask Cardamon anymore. The grave of the warrior prince Quahodron is supposed to lie in the west of the valley. You will have to find it and waken Quahodron. It is written in these inscriptions how a believer of Adanos can summon a spirit.
Do you think that'll really work?
I've read a lot of crazy ramblings. For example, the writings of Iberion, the leader of the Brotherhood of the Sleeper. But I believe every word of the author of these writings.
The Brotherhood of the Sleeper didn't spread just lies. The Sleeper really existed.
But it wasn't their lies that made them implausible. It was their words as such. They were more confusing than believable. They showed the excessive use of the swamp weed they smoked. It is the seriousness and prudence in the words on this stone tablet that convinced me that this man wrote the truth.
Why Quahodron? Why not the High Priest Cardamon?
Raven has desecrated the grave of Cardamon with his summoning. We can assume that. We shall have to look for another spirit.
Are you really serious?
I want to explore every possibility. Even if there is only a ghost of a chance for us to meet one of the builders, then we have to do it. Raven has managed to do it after all.
Assuming I want to summon this ghost, what do I have to do?
Find Quahodron's grave in the west of the valley. His ghost can be summoned by the words of the Guardians of the Dead, which I have written for you here. That's all. Now you just have to find the grave. Good luck, my son.
Nothing to be had there. Nothing to plunder.
Appear to me, Quorhodron, ancient leader of the warrior caste.
Why do you disturb my rest, Guardian? Tell me, what do you desire?
The land is plagued by earthquakes. We must do something, or the entire island will sink into the sea.
There is nothing left for us to do. The wrath of Adanos has fallen upon Jarkendar to punish the unbelievers.
Grant me access to the Temple of Adanos.
The temple will remain closed for all eternity. Thus did we in the council decide.
Someone has forced his way into the Temple of Adanos.
Nonsense. I myself sealed the door. It is impossible to pass.
Indeed. The praised wisdom of the ancestors is truly overwhelming.
A man of your standing does not speak to me thus. I cannot free myself of the impression that you are not the one you pretend to be. If you require my aid, you must first prove yourself to me. Answer my questions, so that I may be sure that I do not reveal myself to strangers.
Ask away.
I am Quorhodron, the old warlord of Jarkendar. You have woken me. To which caste of Jarkendar do you belong?
The Guardians of the Dead.
The abilities of a guardian of the dead would have allowed you to waken me, that is true. If you are truly the one you claim to be, you will be able to answer all of my questions. Except for one. Who once protected the people of Jarkandar from enemy attacks?
The warrior caste.
Who can give me a direct order?
The priests.
Who brought the evil upon us?
The warrior caste.
Who has the final word in the Council of Five?
The scholars.
Who alleviates suffering and attends to the ill?
The healers.
Who sealed the portal to guard the world from evil?
I don't know.
Good. I trust you and shall grant you my aid.
Now listen here. A truly evil fellow has gained access to the Temple of Adanos. If you don't let me into the temple right now, it will probably be too late and everything will go down the drain.
That cannot be. The High Priest Cardiman and I are the only ones in Jarkandar who know how to open the gate to Adanos' temple.
Well, then your pal Cardiman must have blabbed. I'm telling you the gate was open. I saw it myself.
Well, there is truth in your voice. I shall no longer doubt your words.
I should hope so.
Take, then, the password. It is written on this stone tablet. Speak the words at the sealed gate of the temple, and it will open. My time is done. Alas, I can no longer help you. But remember, beware the chambers of Adanos, else your death is certain.
Wait, what about the chambers?
My strength is failing. Farewell. We shall meet again in the realm of the dead.
I've talked to Korhodron.
Then you were really able to waken him from the realm of the dead? That's unbelievable. I am more and more amazed by these builders. Who knows what they could have achieved if they still existed today? What did the ghost say?
He gave me something that will let me get into the Temple of Adanos.
Then go straight to Satirus. He will certainly be interested in what you have to say.
Hey! The problem with the temple gate is solved.
Has the spirit spoken?
Yes, he has.
Then you know how to get into the temple.
Correct. And he also told me what is in the temple. He spoke of a mighty sword and the chambers of Adanos.
By Adanos, what fools we are. How could we have been so naive? The hints in the records. This sword can only be the claw of Beliar. We must get through those chambers as soon as possible and take possession of the weapon.
What are the chambers of Adanos?
We now know that the entrance is not the only obstacle that prevents us from entering the depths of the temple. In the temple itself, there are 3 chambers which are meant to deter all intruders. The colored relics of the builders are the key. Only if we gather all the relics and solve their riddles will we enter the inner sanctum of the temple. I don't know whether Raven was able to decipher the riddles of the temple, but if that is the case, we have a big problem.
What is the Claw of Beliar?
It is the incarnation of evil. Beliar himself created it. Whoever bears it possesses a terrible tool of destruction. The more powerful the bearer is, the mightier the power of the claw. Only someone who is strong of spirit and steadfast in his faith can withstand its spell. Now it is clear to me why the builders sealed off this valley. They brought this weapon of evil into their city and fell under its power. These arrogant fools destroyed one another out of greed. The cruelty knew no end until Adanos' wrath swept across the land and sank everything into the sea. Indeed, the creators of the portal did well to hide these things from the rest of the world. And what a tragic end for such a wonderful culture. Do you realize the urgency of our mission now? Raven is a strong fighter and is blinded by his lust for power. In his hand, the claw will be an instrument of destruction. He must not get the weapon, or we shall all be lost. May Adanos protect you.
Jahedra Akantar.
Nothing to be had there.
But the gate appears closed.
This is not the gate to the final chamber. This gate merely leads to the antechamber. The bearer has closed it behind him.
How do I open the gate?
Move one of the levers.
Anyone?
All of these levers open the gate.
Not all of the levers trigger the trap, right?
Yes, they do.
Your father built the trap. How would you know how it works?
Hohodron, I can still hear the pounding of the hammers on the other side of the gate. After so long a time, the sword showed me revenge for my failure.
You mean you have seen which lever is the right one?
I have long forgotten it.
Think!
It was so long ago.
who has come. My master warned me that Innos would send his henchmen, but I had not expected that you would appear so soon. Well, since you were so quick, I shall give you a quick death.
You sold your soul to Beliar.
For a good price. I will command his armies as a general. And what about you? Do you know how much your soul is worth?
I'm only doing what has to be done.
Listen to him. You have sent me a humble servant, Innos.
Are you sure that I am a servant of Innos?
What? What are you saying?
Don't you consider it possible that I could be a servant of Adnos?
Nonsense.
Maybe I also serve Beliar, or only myself.
Well, in that case, you are not even a worthy opponent for me.
I've had it. Let us begin.
Are you in such a hurry to die? Well, since you insist.
I'm gonna rip you to pieces!
I did it. Raven is finished.
That means you've given Beliar a swift kick. Then you'll be moving on.
My job in this valley is done. I could use a few days' rest.
Yeah, you're constantly on the move, aren't you? Have a good journey.
Who knows? Maybe we'll run into each other again.
Who knows? There will be lots of gates and passages for you to go through. And you're bound to find me on one of them.
Differently. All that matters is strength, so don't tell me that. That's been known a long time.
So much for Raven.
Well, I'll be. That's unexpected. Got him with his pants down, did you? That's certainly worth 500 gold pieces to me. You're quite the daredevil. Carry on like that.
The bandits have found a gold mine.
I knew it. That's why they came here. Nobody would volunteer to live in this monster-ridden bog. Good work. Here, I've got something for you.
There's one more thing I'd like to know.
And that is?
He doesn't even know how to hold a sword.
Where's your ship?
This is just my luck. For months, no ships have sailed between here and the mainland. For months. And the first ship I run into happens to be a fully manned warship belonging to the king. Full of paladins from her keel to the top of her mast.
That's what I call bad luck.
You can say that again. They sank us right away. I'm the only one who made it to the shore.
It's a bad business. He listened to the wrong people.
I've got a recipe for you.
Great. Let me see. What kind of recipe?
Be careful. That's absolutely deadly stuff.
You're scaring me, but I'll give it a try anyway.
It's from Snaff.
But it sounds terrible. I must try it at once.
I've come...
Wait a minute.
Nothing amazes me anymore.
Nobody will learn anything from
I
me.
know who murdered Angus and Hank.
I don't care
Don't
who
tell me
murdered
you
them.
know that.
What about my grog?
That's all
About that
just
grog.
gossip.
Here's your 20 bottles.
What? Really? Just like that?
Well,
Okay, I'll pay for them.
haven't you got anything more interesting than gold?
Let's see. I've got this ring here. I won it gambling in a filthy dockside tavern years ago. Back then, the guy told me it was magic.
About it differently.
No idea whether that's true. Maybe you want that instead of money.
All that matters is strength.
Give me the money.
All right.
Nobody will learn anything from me.
Can you take me to Corinus?
Are you out of your mind? We've lost our ship, man! I'm not taking our last boat out for a spin, just because you're too lazy to get your butt over to Corinus by yourself.
It's a bad business.
He never would have thought of that.
What are you doing? I know who murdered Angus and Hank.
Who? Who did it?
His name is Juan. He's one of the bandits.
You've got to do that bastard in, do you hear me? He must not get away with this.
Juan is history.
And? Did he suffer?
Come off it, kid.
Oh well, just as long as you killed the swine.
That's been going on a long
I'm
time.
no better off myself.
I'm no better off myself.
Nothing.
The earthquakes have stopped, and as I can see, you're still among the living. Does this mean that your mission was successful?
Yes, Raven is dead.
Then it is over. Thank Adanos. You have done well, my son. We're deep in your debt. You have snatched a powerful weapon away from evil and restored the balance in this part of the world. When the earthquakes died away, we discussed what should happen now, and we have reached a conclusion. Go and take the Claw of Beliar. May it be yours to bear from now on. In your hand, it may prove a mighty ally for us. Use it wisely, my son. May Adanos help you. We shall remain here and see to it that the temple is restored to its old brilliance. Only Mixar is already on his way to Corinus to support Vatras. Vatras has been alone in the city for too long.
I have taken the Claw of Beliar.
The Claw of Beliar is a very special weapon. It has its own will and consciousness. You, who now possess this mighty weapon, are its lord and master. It is a part of you, and will adapt itself to your capabilities. However, it will not do that of its own free will. Only Beliar himself can force it to obey you.
What can I do with the weapon?
That lies in your hands. You've conquered the weapon. I can only recommend to you what you can do with it. Either you give it to me, and I shall see to it that it can do no further harm, or you put its power to use and wield it in battle.
And why should Beliar help me?
Only a prayer to Beliar can achieve that. But be careful. Beliar is malicious. If you arouse his wrath, then he'll let you feel it.
I see. Couldn't you keep the weapon safe?
If you give it to me, then I shall render it harmless, so that it can no longer be misused. So consider well what you will do.
About the relics, I think I have something here for you.
We already know this sort of stone tablet. They'll not get us any further now. There must be more than that.
What about this?
That looks good. Where'd you find that?
The bandits use these stone tablets as a sort of currency.
The tablets bear the sign of Korhodren, a great warrior. He is the commander whose son Rodimus caused the downfall of the entire city. I'll bet the bandits don't even know what it is they are trading there.
I found these tablets in a building to the south.
Ah, a tablet of the guardians of the dead. It was they who summoned the spirits of their dead. The builders' connection to their ancestors was very strong.
I found these tablets in a structure to the southwest.
Judging from the tablet, it has something to do with the housing for the priests of the city. The name of the highest priest was Cardamon. We don't know much about him.
This thing was lying in a building near the Great Swamp.
That would have been the house of the healers. We don't know much about them. They seem to have been the first to disappear.
This piece was lying in a large building in a deep ravine.
That was the library of the ancient people. Apparently a tablet of the scholars. Many of the scripts we have found can be traced to the leader of the caste of scholars. Curiously enough, he did not leave his own name behind anywhere. Here is some gold as a reward. Now we have collected all the relics we need.
What will you do now?
We shall stay here and help the temple regain its former glory. All too long have its walls been in this lamentable condition. As far as you are concerned, my son, I am glad to see that I was not mistaken about you. You are the preserver of the balance. There is no longer any doubt about that. Without your courage and strength, the island of Corinus would have drowned. We thank you and will honor you in our thoughts. Devote yourself now to the other tasks that lie before you, and return this world to balance and peace. Now go and fulfill your destiny, Preserver. Our prayers will be with you. May Adanos protect you.
Cut out this magic crap already.
Hey!
I've activated another one of the teleporter stones.
You have done really well. I can only congratulate you on your work. They're all working again now. An impressive sight, don't you think? Here are a few gold coins.
I think I've found something.